What's up, everybody? I'm MrGlasco. This is MrGlasco TV. Welcome back to Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. I say welcome back because I actually didn't get yesterday's broadcast started until after midnight. So we're doing double broadcast today. I'd like eventually to get back up to a schedule where I can do my pre-gaming. But I have to figure out a system for that, a system of priming and setting that stuff up, so that I'm not trying to scramble and then cutting into my gaming time. So I'll figure it out eventually. But we're going to continue to play some Kerbal Space Program today. We're going to continue to build the Commodore. That's the ship from Thor Ragnarok. It was the Grandmaster's special ship, for those who've already seen it and knows what that means. We did a test flight yesterday. We just forced a bunch of parts on it to give it some stability. It looks like it's going to be very front unstable in the front area because of the way the wing has to come in front of the cockpit. So we might have to just brute force the entire ship. We can't really finesse the aerodynamics because it's going to want to act funny regardless of how we do it. Depending on how we do the struts, really. But yeah. Welcome back. Let's get to it. Already have the game up and running, actually. Zoom. MrGlasco. Go here. Grandmaster's Commodore. I guess just as a refresher, I guess I could do the test flight that I did. So this is the Commodore. Or more accurately, get my reference material here. More accurately, this is the Commodore that I'm trying to replicate. These are my reference shots for building it. This is basically all I have. This is probably the most practical one, even though it doesn't fit the aesthetic that I'm looking for. It can give me some ideas of how LEGO decided to solve the problem of the shape of this ship versus its actual more slimline, sleeker shape. And this gives us a good profile of how the cockpit sits versus the body versus the wings. Which could be a pain in this case because the wings are sloping down in this case. But we can just account that for maybe how the ship is rocking forward, maybe. Even though the cockpit seems pretty level here. Which kind of sucks because sloping down wings equals crazy bad aerodynamics. So that's Commodore. This is what we have so far. We have to build out the rest of the body here. As you can see, I got some room to still fit in things, utilities, monopropellant. I have this big fuel tank that I've kind of forced in here. Need to cover it basically. But then yesterday I did have this testing file here because I took these aspects that the game gives you to guide you on how to have functionality and stability, and I try to force what we had to do. So basically, with that original shape that you just saw, we have to force this much, at least, maybe even more so because we have to get this circle in here. We have to force this much aerodynamics into this back portion, this back, when we make this more smooth. We have to force this much aerodynamics, and it just means clipping in a lot of like wing parts into each other, and then trying to figure out how to move the weight forward. Now this weight is actually farther back because of these booster rockets that I just slapped on here just to make sure that this thing flew. So without these booster rockets, the center of mass is actually a little bit nicely more forward. But yeah, let's see this thing crash. Prime everything. Everybody say go. Oh my god! I'm probably better off just probably better off having this just point straight up at this test phase. Eventually I wanted to have it take off like a aircraft. Need to let these engines warm up. That's what the issue was there. Still hits. Oh god. Oh no. Oh yeah, we don't have any actual controls to turn other than the control surfaces on the back wings here. Yeah. We got it. No, don't do it. Okay, boosters are gone. Can I deploy a couple of those, but they're clipped to the wings, so the wings are holding them in. And we're gonna crash. Oh, look at that. Right back where we started. We still gotta... The core innards of the ship are still intact, so that's good. Our Kerbals survived. Yeah. Mayday, mayday, what's up? Make the trap great again. So that's what we got. We gotta fit that, at least that kind of functionality, into a tighter frame. I think it's possible. We might have to, like I said, brute force the design where we scrap any kind of aerodynamics and the lift, and then just try to put a bunch of thrusters all over this thing to make it fly the way we want. The bad thing about that is you don't get to fly as smooth as like a... Well, it depends on how you do it. It's always nice when you can fly smooth with just like aerodynamics for lift. Don't fly into the ground. Those are pro tips. So let me get my reference material real quick. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I probably should account, so that's our current center of mass. I should probably account for the need of monopropellant if I want to go into space. Is that being too optimistic? I could try to figure out, I still haven't figured out a way to taxi my crazy shuttle and aircraft and spacecraft builds into space reliably, other than to stick it on just an Uber rocket that's so powerful it ignores any of the resistance and drag. Monopropellant, where are you? Monopropellant. How do I want to put this? Wait, what is this? This is fuel, right? Fuel tanks. This one. This one's monopropellant. Liquid fuel, or these are monopropellant. I don't like this one though. What's the name of the ship I'm making? It's called the Commodore. I guess I could just simplify it here. I've been calling it the Grandmaster's Commodore, but it's not like the Grandmaster is as noteworthy as Thor. But it's from Thor Ragnarok, the movie. It is the Commodore. Knowing about this ship isn't necessarily a spoiler. Some of the finer details about this ship might be. I think it'd be funny to make it. I don't think we have any fireworks mechanics in this game. The Commodore, like the PC. I don't know if the naming was relevant to the PC when they named the Commodore in the movie, but I'm not aware of the Commodore's specifics, but I am aware it's old tech. What am I doing? Monopropellants. This is a lot of monopropellants. It's too much monopropellants. I could put that like that. Dare I expect to be able to use that much monopropellant? Dare I do it? Look how flush it is though. Oh man, that looks so good. Very rare do you come out with things just lining up just so neatly. We still have to taper it down though. Like I'm thinking like paneling that goes like down kind of just to funnel so it's just not just a flat back like that. I could actually use wing parts. Any upward wing parts is actually good. Anything downward I make panels because it destroys aerodynamics. So that can account for the mana propellant. We actually have to, let's do this now before I forget. Let's run fuel lines from the big tank to the cockpit. I always like to run two just in case one fails. Excellent, like kind of real world redundancy for safety. Is this the tank? This is the tank. That's right. Here, I believe this is the cockpit. So now, and the cockpit is the basis for the entire build. So running fuel to there, I think, secures you for having fuel throughout. Put an alien in it. In the movie, there is an actual cargo bay doors. And there is an actual platform here, which Thor and Valkyrie jump onto. I have it kind of obstructed here. Let me see. So I've made something for that. Tell you about the movie. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. It's a good movie though. It's a fun movie. It's a nice little fun movie. It's noticeably for like a young audience can definitely go and enjoy it because of the cheekiness to it and the jokes. But it still had, you know, action and drama. Not like epic drama, but you know, enough. Did the bad guys win? I guess maybe that's part of what, for me, I guess in Asgard there was things, but then I don't know. It's a complicated that requires a complicated answer. That would spoil a lot. So I don't know. Can he fit? I can't. I'm trying to get it next to one of these Kerbals. I can try judging it by a chair. This is approximately what a Kerbal would be if he sat down. What is the idea behind spoiling a movie? If you would tell me the story and events, why would that spoil your experience? For some people, it's different, I guess. So they'd barely be able to sit here. So it's kind of more for show. These doors can open for show, not for function. Because I don't think I can move much of anything here. If you've never seen the Lord of the Rings, someone told you to destroy the ring. Spoil the experience for the ring. I don't know. Because some people, like, I feel like if you have a preconception of something going in, your brain, without even realizing it, starts connecting dots ahead of time. It's like, oh, it's about to happen, it's about to happen. And sometimes that anticipation is kind of taking you out of where you would have been in your experience if you didn't know, okay, something's about to happen. I mean, it's obvious, but sometimes there's not so obvious twists. And if you give somebody who has enough deduction, they might, you know, start putting pieces together, and then just by telling a few plot points to somebody, they're like, oh no, I spoiled it for myself because now you know, because there's only so many ways you can tell a story, just in general, right? So if you know enough about what's going on, you pretty much can plot out how it's gonna end. So, but you're like my wife. My wife wants to know exactly how movies are gonna end. Well, you might not want that much, but she doesn't care about spoiling. She wants to know exactly how the movie's gonna end, and then she just wants all the details and the excitement and everything in the middle just to play out. And she wants to see how it happened, how the ending happened. But for me, it's like, no, you wanna try to be in the place of the main characters and their struggle with trying to figure out, how do I solve this problem in front of me. But that's just me. What's up, Space Lord? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a good starting point. Thinking I can try finishing the body of the wing from top to bottom. That's probably the best place to go from here. Weird. Gotta go all the things in this game. I haven't touched career mode since they first introduced career mode, if that's what you're referring to. Not that I don't like it, or I wouldn't be interested in it, but I would be just sucked into it. And I actually enjoy my little creative builds here. It's kind of like, what's the, where's the movie? The Arrival. Have you seen The Arrival? With the big spaceship in the sky. Have you seen that movie? Because in the movie they introduced the concept of a. You haven't seen The Arrival. Well, there's still this concept of no-sum, zero-sum gain or something like that. Or like, it's kind of like a parlay of two sides where there's a zero-sum, nobody kind of gets the upper hand on everything remains neutral. And now that I said that, I forgot where I was going with that. Zero-sum gain. Wait, let me read the question again. Oh, that's how the movie ended. I guess if that's a spoiler alert for Thor Ragnarok. But it kind of opens the door for like, well, not really a cliffhanger, but it was kind of that situation. So to say the bad guys won, I guess. Yeah, if you want a yes or no. But it was kind of not. They didn't win. Because obviously, bad guys aren't allowed to win in, these movies. But for... I don't know. Something. Words. How do I give this more body without messing up what's going on here? All weapons armor, having use, all the dialogue, all the endings, whole mag sword. Completionist? For this game? Weapons and armor? Or are you talking about Mass Effect? Is that where you're playing? It's like, weapons? I know there's mods so you can turn these things into mechs, but I haven't messed with that. Boom, 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 boom. All games. All the games. Oh man. And then the Steam autumn sale's gonna drop, and then you're just gonna get a bunch of games to add to that list, right? How? Ba-dee-dee, ba-doo-doo, ba-da-da, ba-dum. Guess I can start from here, the wing? Even though it's giving me this weird angle. I hate how I never get it. I never get the orientation that I want when I hit these keys. I'm just kind of guessing. It's kind of like plugging in a USB. It's like you try one way, it doesn't fit. Let's say, oh, let me rotate it this way. You try it that way, it doesn't fit. You try it back the first way you tried, and then it works. That's the law. The law of the universe is that a USB always fits the original orientation, but only the second time you try it. The laws of nature. Let's give these wings some body. Get bodied. I'm excited. I'm feeling good today. Maybe it's because I haven't taken my allergy medicine. Oh god. Hold on. It's supposed to make me drowsy, but it's not like super drowsy. I can handle it. Oh, I got it first try. But yeah, I'm feeling good for some reason. Took a nap, didn't oversleep right before getting on. What's that about? All I need to do is be able to figure out how to take a nap and then get to pre-gaming. Why can't that be a thing? So I think on top of this slope here, I'm going to try to fit in a number of these because it looks like that's what happens. Then how do I do that? I'm interested to see what this game's gonna look like when, like, the future is here. It's like, yeah, we have anti-gravity, functional anti-gravity engines, and, you know, vertical takeoff is not gonna be as hard to manage and manipulate in this game. Before the armor, did the ship fly? Did this fly before this stuff? Technically, this version flew. This version flew, and it has some of it. This actually doesn't cause wind resistance. As far as I know, only there's a section here, aerodynamics. All these cause some form of lift. So if you put them on in the wrong way, it could cause drag. These parts are structural, so they're supposed to be based internally. Supposed to be. So when you put these on to try to counteract the game factoring in internal parts having drag and resistance, I think they've exempt these from interfering with aerodynamics. They only affect weight. But we have to put all of these aerodynamic parts in the ship somehow, in a circle, to get enough lift for it to not be too unstable. That makes sense. But Commodore. Once upon a time, submarines were sci-fi. Flying to moon. Crazy talk. Yeah. But I'm interested to see how this game would factor it in, because it's like, because if I wanted this thing, because in the, like, in a movie when you go, like, oh, I'll get it to the spaceship goes, zoop, shoo, right? Or in this game, it's like, warm up, run down the runway, and then take off, and then fly. or use a massive amount of jets and fuel and to like a Harrier and then transition from vertical to horizontal travel or flight. So what I'm saying is there'll just be a part like this. It'll be like boop. Got this piece. I can put it on top here like this. Try to get down into the middle of the ship, and now that's our anti-gravity pump or something, whatever. And that's it. One and done. Like, looking at these engines would be like having propeller engines. Which is another thing, people actually have mods so that propeller systems are a thing. But just interested to see where the future of this game and in its execution goes. Plus, all you already have flying cars, though. I'm saying. And Back to the Future foretold it. Should have never made that movie. That movie did to our future what Marty did when he started screwing it up. Which would be ironic. Everybody assumed it was going to happen, so nobody worked on it. No, I'm joking. That'd be kind of interesting, though, to kind of gauge that to see if that was true. If we can peek into parallel universes. But let's see what happened. If Back to the Future was never made in this galaxy. Oh my god, they have flying cars. Oh my goodness. Look at that, a hoverboard. What is this? I'm scared here. I don't want to get too many of these. Too many of these going. Can I just grab the one? Let's not get too crazy here. So the number of these need to like curve around. As this curves around, this probably. Yeah, first try. Regards. Regards to you all. It's funny. The Periscope bots are annoying, obviously, but they do remind me to say hi. If I start getting tunnel vision. Like, hey guys, still here. In deep thought. This thing is gonna have a lot of air intake points, which is gonna be awkward when it's in space. Unless this is like dark matter vents. Alright Loki, I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by, saying hi, chatting it up. Loki. Oh my god. Game. Please. Mirror. Scared. Scared here. What do I click to make this thing mirrored? I think I click this. Dang it. Oh. Oh yeah. There we got it. Just gotta put it back. Put it back where we found it. Ah, yes. Ah, much better. Ah. Same thing with this one. It's a very nuanced one, but it's still part of the family. Just not attached. Doom, doo, doom. Okay, what point did I not do symmetry? I feel like we've been in symmetry forever. Symmetry for life. This game is very therapeutic for that kind of thing, like wanting balance and symmetry. If that's what you enjoy in life. Play some Kerbal Space Program. Sure, you have to learn a little bit about physics, science, stuff. Once you get past that, then it's all about creating that balance so things can fly and not wobble if it's a rocket. All that good stuff. Showing a little bit of white here, but I think I'm probably gonna try to end it. Not sure how far across it goes really from the profile. But it would make sense that it doesn't go all the way. Probably stops right about here, so maybe 2 more or so. Ba-da-ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-ba-ba-dum. Question now I'm thinking of is do I erase them? Oh, excuse me. Because they're actually kind of flat. So I could, while staggering them this way, I might stagger them down from a higher point. Thing about that is I think this one is connected to this frame, so if I do it too high it's not gonna be touching. That's a problem. That can be a problem. I think it would look better. Oh god. See if we can do this. Easy transition. Just do that. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. Then this. 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 Then this. 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 And this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give it to me. This one I think makes enough contact with the frame that I can keep it. It's part of the frame maybe? Maybe put one in between. One in between, right? Almost. Kinda like that. Awkward. Can make it so it kind of curves, but then kind of curves back out. This one as it starts to go forward a little. Just a pinch though. Just a pinch. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit. That's fine. Or that's fine. They're fine. Like that. I think they're too far forward here. What's up, K25 Phaser Racer? Phase Racer. Sorry. On the mixer. I think they need to be about there. Be about there. You won't see these actually. They actually go back. From the profile, you should see some. So I have them a pinch wrong here. How should this go then? Let me see. Because if anything, it's telling me I need to do this. What you're saying is have it go not forward but back. Here, you guys tell me how well I'm going off of my reference. So make a note, make a mental note of the cockpit here to the wing up here, kind of going across, and then the vents here. And then we look at our reference. Boop. And you can see you got cockpit, the wing in the front's kind of obstructed, it might be a little thicker and longer, and then I have it so that you actually can't see my mouse here. I changed that really quick. I'm missing it. And then you have the vents here. This is what I'm kind of focusing on. Trying to get it so you can see it. Then I need to have a smooth transition from top to there, then this to the edge of the wing. What is this? What's up, Bloodheart? This is a screenshot from Thor Ragnarok. The ship in the background is called the Commodore. And this is Kerbal. What you walk into? This is Kerbal Space Program, where you build spaceships, space rockets, airplanes, and it's based in a physics competent environment, and you try to fly things in it. And so I'm trying to replicate that. So you can see I got cockpit, wing, 2 vents on the side. Those are my 3 reference points currently. And we're going to keep trying to form the wing and the body. Nice. Thanks. Probably needs to slope down a little bit too. Welcome. I figure Thor's still relevant enough to be on the hype train of making something from the movie. Because everything else everybody's already made. Like everything from Star Wars and Star Trek, all the classic sci-fi movies, but who's got a Commodore? Mind if you chill? Yeah. Go into lurk mode. Do what you need to do. Hang out. Yeah, everybody's got. I just keep rambling. And I'm on multiple platforms also, so if you hear me talking to other people, I'm not just pretending. Or am I? I could have chat up, but every time I switch off of it goes back to this if I switch off the screen. So if I show you guys my reference, it goes away. Lost in Space? I'm willing to bet. They have Transformers. They have people who've made mods that make Transformers. It's pretty wild. I try to play in vanilla because I'm a noob. No, I like the challenge of not having mods. Because then it gives you great appreciation for the game. It's like, wow, this game is got some building blocks for us here. You can make this and it actually functions. So it should curve also with the wing. I don't think I have these curves lined up. Or if it's supposed to be, if this is the wing, if it starts at the body, maybe ends here, I should be following a curve that's a little tighter. Here, 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 with the peak being maybe here, here, then it starts to go in. Trying to figure out a good transition from going back to going forward. This one? Normandy? I actually have the Normandy. I mean, okay, I made the Normandy, but I actually, no, you know what? I thought I lost them. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I forgot that this is a new PC and it's on my old PC. So for some reason I thought since I did a fresh install of Kerbal on this PC that let me see if I can import into Normandy real quick. I made the Normandy SSB. SSB Normandy? Programs. Did I reformat? Oh, I might have reformatted, yep. I don't even know if I have Steam on here. Oh man. Yeah, it's gone. Can I back it up? Dang it. I do have the Normandy though. Or I did. Once upon a time. See if I can pull it up. Normandy. I'll just do like the last video I made for it. Normandy. It's all good. No, I want to reminisce. Sorry. I'm trying to reminisce the good old days. I got my hopes up there for a second. Like I thought I had the file. This is probably one of my most my favorite ones, actually. Oops. This is the Normandy. See it taking off. Funny thing with YouTube, you can go like double speed. Even though it's probably chugging now because, oh man, it was so good. It needed all of this extra. It was so heavy. Can I get a part count? MrGlasco from the past. It was so heavy. It needed 4 booster rockets to even make it to the edge of space, and then it killed. You needed to burn through all the fuel. This is how slow my computer was. See how long it's taking? Oh, so, and then it's loading, it's bouncing. Is this double speed? Maybe it's the resolution. Yeah, this is double speed, so you could see how slow it's going because the game is processing. See how fast I'm like moving? Game is processing this thing. And then where did we dump? I want to see these dumped. Processing processing the dump of the boosters. Those collide per design. And then I actually have these engines right here. The lower engines had to be fired at a lower thrust, otherwise this thing would do a backflip. It was a very complicated for... And then I tried, and then here's it losing control, trying to go into orbit. And then this is me being frustrated that it couldn't get into orbit. Yeah. The dump. Yeah, I like watching the stages. Well, I like watching the stages execute. Feels good. It's like, oh yeah, decouple that booster. Can I figure this transition out while keeping the profile that has the vents showing? That looks good. This looks good enough to eat. Looks delicious. Probably should start moving in from now. Let's keep it going one more. And then from here, start moving in this wing. I think I was also doing this. Select this one. That, this, this. How you are with the sniper rifle, distance, range, and the drop. Looks good. Oh, it looks so good. Now, oh, stupid symmetry. 50 Berta. It's quite the kick. Oh yeah. So I always forget to put on back the chin. Symmetry. Por favor. There. Here. So here. I might have to tighten up this slope. Like this. And this. And this. What was the name? Chick in Rag? What was her name? Kind of like that. For stability, should probably start putting some struts on these things. The evil lady? In Thor Ragnarok? Helena? I don't know what rag. Or are you talking about Mass Effect? Yeah, Helena. Daughter of Odin. It's funny how people like knock rag on Odin for being like the worst. So many secrets. You haven't seen it yet? It's pretty good. Solid flick. It's thoroughly entertained. Here. Whoa, whoa. 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 Thor was funny. Hulk was funny. A lot of funny. What's up, Varanessor? Hulk's still your favorite, hands down. Yeah, Hulk. Something about Hulk. Maybe it's something about just losing control and being angry. Maybe something about being trapped in there as Bruce Banner. Oh, very classic kind of story he has. Too bad he's freaking... I can't make a movie for him just because of rights and stuff. Checking out what Kerbal streams are out there. Well, I appreciate you checking me out. We're currently constructing the Commodore from... Oh, I don't like that. The Commodore from Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok. If you haven't seen it, it's a ship that belongs to the Grandmaster. I don't think that's really spoiling it. It's in the previews. everything is Hulk in your house and your wife hates it. Don't touch my stuff, wife. That'll make me angry. It's like, go, don't say it. Don't you even say it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. You won't like me when I'm angry. You gonna see it? That's good. It's fun. It's a fun movie, funny movie. It has that very, you know, comedic kind of style that all the Marvels kind of have throughout. But it still has the drama. Family drama. Let's turn this up a pinch. Bring it down a notch. I don't like it when she's hungry. That's a good one. I think I might steal that one. Might get me in trouble. But the payoff, oh man, can't deny it. Oh god, I grabbed it. Undo. Oh man, that's so good. I remember undo on my other PC would it'd be a coin toss whether or not the game whether the game comes back to me. Like, are you there? I promise I won't make a mistake again. Just come back to me, game. I've been spending so much time on this build. Ba-da ba-da bump. Ba-da ba-da bump. Oh god. See, I'm trying to match the edge of these with this corner, but it means clipping through that, so I don't want that. So I gotta just drop it and bring it forward. Then I have this, but that should be fine. It's forgivable. It's like painting. Painting with Lego parts. That's how I see this. Aesthetics first, functionality later. Usually at the detriment of functionality. But then it looks so good, you don't care. It's like having a toy, right? If the toy looks legit, if you had a replica of the Normandy, would you care if it actually flew in space? Or at all? It'd be great if it did. They have the Millennium Falcon that's like a little what are those things called? A drone, which is nice, right? But then you have these 4 big openings in the frame for the fans to fit in there and work. So how loyal are you to having the drone? Do you appreciate that it flies? Or would you rather have a Millennium Falcon that looks like the Millennium Falcon? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure how to read that blood heart. Let me try. But he's going to school for aeronautics. Aeronautics. Yeah, I think it's A-E-R Euro. I only know that because I live in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area. The D.C. area, D.C. Metro, whatever. And we have the Aerospace Museum. And growing up, I always wondered, why is it spelled that way? Not how you spell air. The what is it? National Aeronautics and Space Museum. I think I'm actually try to take my kids there this week. Just like with this, my attention and capacity for space and stuff is peaked. And robotics, sweet. That stuff's cool. Kind of wish I would have gotten into that kind of stuff, like building the fighting robots and stuff. Those things look intense. Good luck. Yeah, the part about engineering, not that I ever went in for engineering, but I saw the requirements. All that math. And math. Why you gotta math me? We got calculators now. We have calculators. Soon we'll have AI. I feel like soon we'll be referring to our AI the same way we refer to our calculators. It's like, why are you asking me? Ask the AI. What are you doing? We're gonna be just like that, cavalier and casual about it. 29 retired, awesome. Congrats. That's the greatest. Probably. I don't know. I don't like this strut here. Get out of my vent air intake. Could try to drop it. It's boring. I can see that too. Gotta find a project. Right? Start a business. But then it'll be stressful, man. Trying to start a business. Okay, we're building it. It's being built. Things are building up. Let's strut things up before we forget. For stability. Stability. Heavy machinery. Literally built this country. And almost died doing it. Unless it was not building. Maybe you were I was a demolisher. Well then. But I could appreciate that, really. My previous job was for a union. The mine workers union, actually. So, yeah, manual labor. Labor movement and all that. Got appreciation for it. Safety. Healthcare. Pension plans. Got out of school early and started making money. It's awesome, it worked out. How do I want to do this here? I gotta keep going, but I can't. I need to keep making it curve. Boom, boom. Ba-da-bum, boom. Me personally, I've kind of just been in more office positions though. Gotta run. Semi-truck. What? Got run over by a semi-truck. Are you the Hulk? Is that just a hint? Doo-doo-doo. I think I want this to go down a little. And as kind of sloppy as these edges look when it's all said and done, kind of like the Normandy, it'll look nice. Feel like it after. I'm alive. Six weeks, god dang. Good thing you, yeah, good on you. Most I've had to happen to me physically was, I used to have a crotch rocket Yamaha R6. Took a little too fast on the back roads of where I grew up. And, got off the corner on a curve. And tried to get back on the road. As soon as that front tire hit, whoosh, back tire slid out. Took a spill, but nothing broken. I think I have nerve damage in my wrist. See, like, this wrist is the bad wrist, so I can't bend it down that far. I think there's like some soft tissue damage and then nerve damage because it always hurts. It'll never not hurt. Unless I keep it like in a nice, calm, relaxed state and don't overstrain it. So I gotta be mindful of like carpal tunnel. I'm sure it's not as bad as being ran over by a truck. I'm not trying to compare, you know, that. It's just... Yeah, the Honda CRF. Broke a collarbone. Jeez. Yeah, actually, you used to sell motorcycles and stuff at a place in Virginia, Coleman Power Sports. I wasn't actually that knowledgeable though, because I was in school at the time. I knew what I had. I knew the motorcycling experience, and I can sell. I was a salesperson, and I could sell kind of based off of that, but any specifics, I'd be like, ah. Slept off the collarbone? You sure it was broken? Was it strained? Fractured? I mean, I guess you could just not get it fixed. Let the nature do its thing. Oh, jeez. Percocets. Let's see. Here to here. Like, I got this collarbone. Here, take these. Yeah, I got this pain in my How do you feel? Feel fine. Why are you shrugging at me? What? It's always been my concern with like injuries and stuff. Cause I used to run track in high school, and I used to have this thing in my head about like if you get a sprain or you get a limp or somehow for some reason you gotta try to still kind of walk normal, otherwise you'll heal with a limp or a strain or whatever. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. It has its uses. I've evolved. I've evolved. How men were made to be. Battle scars of life. See? It's coming along. looks so cute. But I can already hear the little voices in people's heads though. But does it fly? But does it fly though? You just wait. I'll show you. Does it fly though? Stalling because it doesn't. Got into it with a Krogan. Love the Krogan's voices. I'm a Krogan. I can vibrate your soul just by humming. Don't mess with me. I gargle rocks after brushing my teeth. Chill, man. Chill out, Krogan. I can't. The Chonka made me this way. Imagine, what do they call it? ASMR? Oh god! Thanks for the follow on Mixer. Thanks for chatting too. Hanging out. Just laying panels here. Doing some metal work on the old spacecraft. Got the manager there watching me. Well, that wouldn't be a manager. Oh god! That'd be him over there. Get hit by a truck though. Is that you? You a Kerbal watching me? Sorry. I have this pain though. I had actual food poisoning though this weekend. It was the worst. Panda Express. You're on notice. And it was just the kind where I was throwing up and I was like, all those muscles involved with doing that are like still sore. So just laughing too hard hurts. It hurts. Hurts to be happy. Go up. Good, yes. Food poisoning, yeah. I actually haven't had it too many times. Like everybody else around me has. They're like, ah, man, there's like this specific strain of like that hit or something hit Chipotle. I was like, oh man, me and my burrito. That must be terrible. That must be terrible, man. A little bit of survivor's guilt kicking in when it hit my wife. I was like, oh man, that's awful. But they've only reported it for that one time frame, right? Okay. Want some nachos? Or what? Tortilla chips? No? None of that? Fair enough. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Because we're gonna have to do it on this side too. Mr. Lonely on Mixer. I mean, Mixer's backed by Microsoft now, so things could, you know, start taking a turn. You'd be the Mixer OG. I was like, really? Microsoft? Wonder what their plans are. Who's in that room? Who's in that boardroom making those decisions? And are they relevant? Do they just want a platform? To advertise their stuff on? Do they want to build it out to be a competitor against Twitch and YouTube gaming? YouTube's got its own things going on. Oh, this thing's still playing. My video from Normandy. Dum, 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 dum. Let's see. Funny thing, on PlayStation at least, there was a lot of people using Daily Motion because they were trying to enter the space. I swear, right after PewDiePie kind of screwed the pooch, dropped the N-bomb, they were like, I couldn't log on to them anymore on my my multi-streaming platform, and then like it's like gone now. It's gone. They're gaming. They're like, nope, don't want to get into that drama. I don't know if that was the thing that did it, but it was funny because it was like right when it happened. I was like, hey, I can't log on to Daily Motion Gaming anymore. Like, nope. Can't control these streamers. You want to see what the boom button does? I'll press it. Boom. This is right here. This is fireworks. Just the fireworks. And all these other ones are just emojis. Where's the emoji? There it is. Originally, when I made those, they were the actual emojis. Like I copied and pasted it from, what's the website? Getemoji.com. I can look up all the emojis, copy paste them. And it looked fine, but then I forget how I tested it, but you don't see the emojis. You just see a bunch of question marks if I put the emojis. So I was like, oh man. I like emojis because they're not text. There's some kind of a design element without having to actually design something. Someone already did the footwork. Said, what communicates something efficiently? I can't. I mean, I guess I can make it something like that, but then I'd feel like I'd be on edge. What would be more accurate noise for that? Crackle, snap, pop. Am I falsely advertising it? Come on, which one is it? fizzle. Nobody calls me and fizzle and gets away with it. Except for that one guy who called me a fizzle and got away with it. But not again. I haven't watched TV in such a long time. Kinda miss it, kinda don't. Family Guy used to be my jam. Did binge watch Stranger Things recently though. That was actually pretty good. Those kids did fine by me. Currently trying to watch the whole Marvel kind of series on Netflix, but I'm kind of like here and there with it. The standout performance, in my opinion, was would probably be Deadpool. I'm thinking Red, so that's why that's it. Freaking Daredevil. One looks like a BJ. P. Oh, this one, sunglasses. Ouch. Ouch. I should put like 10 million sparks on that one. Be like, wait, what? Do I get one? Does he get one? Just confuse people. Just have random pricing. It's funny because I have a lot of points on another platform, stream.me. I believe has points in it. Something, I don't want to click around there too much. But it's like, notice me. There's like this drop down thing. It's like, I don't know what to do with you. Something about emoticons. That's the thing about multi-streaming. It's like you don't focus too hard on one, so you might miss out on some of the features of the platform. I just like being the accessibility of multi-streaming. Just like everywhere, all the time. I like Blood Heart. Take care. Thanks again for chilling. Hopefully you'll get to see the progress of this eventually. Maybe even see it in space. The world may never know. Unless you keep watching, and then I guess you'll know. Yeah, I'm feeling like feeling good today. Feeling chatty. Feeling like I got energy. It is coming together. Seeing if I could do something here. One thing I could do. Technically any part that is lower in the bottom and higher in the front should probably be an aerodynamic part. But let me scratch that. That's false. If it's on or behind the center of mass. So I do that here for these little pieces here, as little as that might be, it'll actually be a lot of aerodynamic thrust, which this panel in general is already going to provide a lot of. I could reinforce. This, the wings, so that they don't bend. See, how do I trying to see if it registers that point. Or I should have put it on there before. There we go. Could probably put it another one on. Just keep it going all the way around. Do I put another one on and just connect it? Symmetry. Game, seriously. You need to frickin' learn when I'm being symmetrical, when I'm not. Very rarely am I not trying to be symmetrical here. I gotta try to find out how to get this thing on here. Scoop. Like this effect.
I pinch. I pinch you. I can pinch. Pinch. I pinch. I pinch. I pinch.
I'm a child. Go like that. What you doing? Why are you floating there? That. Rotate. Why are you connecting like that? What? I mean, come on. In to there. Into this one like this. Like a dice. Now, the challenge is to strut it. Will you let me strut here? That's the question. Here to the other bar of metal. Not a wing piece. That looks like it might be it. There's symmetry there, right? Yeah, I see it. Should be solid. Now, from there, we try to do it to the wing pieces. Now the wing pieces are secure. We could try to do it all along it, but I feel like that's redundant for when it's here. We can do like this or something. Try and give it some stability. Some kind of thing. If this was a bridge building game, those things would have varying levels of specific roles to fulfill as support. Whether it's through tension or compression. I feel like a strut shines the most as a tension point of structural support. But if you spam a lot of them, you could kind of manifest a strong compression. How long have we been streaming? 1 hour 51 minutes. It's 12:13. Actually doing good on time. I was afraid it was gonna be like 2 o'clock. I'd be like, oh god, I didn't even get the. Got time. See, one thing is that these are kind of just chilling. I do not feel like strutting these all about so that they don't flex and bow. But I guess if they start flexing and bow, I could do that, I guess. Let's do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. We are starting to get into uncharted territory. Oh yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good. We'll be able to go into the devil's anus pronto with this. Spoilers. I should do like that. This is a case of tension support. I could put a I-beam there, and then I'd still use struts to kind of act as a weld between. But this is cheaper. And the game should hopefully recognize it as solid enough, good enough. Okay, what else do we want to do? Okay, we just need the shape. The aerodynamics. But will it fly though? Will it fly? You want to do a test? Want to force the dynamics? Guess we got a good point. Okay, we're gonna need a lot of aerodynamics to push this to this. Oh, it could do a backflip, I think. I don't think this is actually enough thrust for. Don't think that's actually enough thrust for it to fly without lift. Brute force, we'd have to apply a little bit of this. No, that's too big. A little bit of this. Yeah. A little bit of this here. But first we need to move this blue back here, otherwise it's just gonna do a backflip. I ain't fly yet. No, I'm still building out. See, it's coming along. So we need to move this blue thing here if we want to test it, to make it worth our while. The biggest wings they have in the game are these. So that gets it. That gets it partway there. Place these. Move it back as far as it looks it'll go with while making sense. We tried tilting it. That works. Get it right up in there. Now, the trick is to put booster rockets on here, but not move the center of mass. But these things are massive, so whenever you put them, boop, center of mass is gonna move. So, how do you manage? What's up, Alex? You're betting it won't fly? You want to put a time on that? I can guarantee I can make it fly, but I mean, falling with style. If you're requiring a landing from me, I would agree. I would concur on that, but I can make it fly. We can make these things happen. So let's try putting the couple of hairs. Let's try something. Try putting them here on top of the wings, right? You with me? Actually, it'd make more sense if they're on the bottom. On the bottom. So we can drop them like bombs. Nice. They're not level, which is awesome. Right? God dang it. Up, over, actually down. Booster rockets. Boom. Put them on them. Bam. Boom. Center mass is back. See if we can move it forward. Swoosh. Okay, can't go that far. Notice the wings in the back rounding out the balance. The wings in the back are pulling the aerodynamics from about here to here. So they have to be there. How we're gonna do that without doing this is gonna be the big challenge. I can tilt them again. Oh god. Okay. They're there. We can move center of mass up. We should actually align our thrusts so that I actually had that mess, because if I didn't align these thrusters with these thrusters, then they would be out of balance. Obviously, right? We got those there, that there. I could probably still move these forward. The wrong angle, which is awesome. Probably still not up straight. We're just testing. Wait. What are we doing here? I'm scared that these wings clipping through here are going to be a thing. They might not be. I feel like this is flyable as is. All we need now is tail fin. Where's the big one? I feel like there's a big one. Is it this one? And this is just for maneuverability. Yeah, I feel like there's a big one that fits that better. It kind of looks like the Enterprise. Now you know where the design came from. It's actually very pragmatic. Just kidding, not really. I thought there was a big one. Come on, rotations. See, there's one that fits. Nope, that's the one. There we go, this is what I was looking for. Cheese. Cheese and crackers. Might be a little big, a little much. But you can see, as you notice, you start working with just the functionality portions of it. You're basically building a standard looking thing. That's why it's so hard to. I think these are control surfaces. I think they have control, so I don't have to actually put these flaps on it. Think. Boop. 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 Come on. Where is it? Come on. Game. Give it to me. That's fine like that. And now our aerodynamics is way in the back, which means we can rotate this forward some, straighten it out. Just funny. Which means we gotta tilt these correctly. So the idea is, imagine that this is just a bullet. You want to hit it dead center on the center of mass so that the center of mass goes where the bullet's going. And while it's going this way, lift is going to be pulling up on the top of this. Now if you have this force going this way and this force going this way, it's still going to want to backflip. So you want to have this actually in the center of here, because then that offers... This is going to always overpower lift. And we're going to name this testing. Oof, where's my... That's not the home row. Testing. Oh my god. Testing. See if we got the stages right. Let's put it on one of these. Let's do it in a way that we're not crashing into it as we're taking off, and we also need struts for this. That should be it. Let's give ourselves an optimal angle. That's the direction we want to go, right? Save, launch, and watch. So it's bouncing. Well, let's see if it goes back. Everything on. It's oh god. Stages are wrong for this one. Oh my god. Fire missiles! Okay. Everything was wrong there. Everything. What? Why are you there? Why are you even there? Where did you get to? Okay. There we go. Boop, boop. Go. Engines on. Warming up. And go. Okay. Oh man. We're fine. Not really. Interesting. Do we need to just go up? But it flew though. My god. There. Let's get some more. Some more of these. Just one, I guess, for there. Should be fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're okay. Got it. We got it. All the things. Warm up the engines. These engines actually help us steer more than anything else. Let's see. You can see them going with the control surfaces. Let's see if we're too heavy. Yeah! See, the faster we go though, the more the aerodynamic surfaces are going to make us want to backflip. So we have to use our backwards control surfaces to be constantly pushing the nose down. Oh god! And there goes. See, now it's still wanting to pull up though, so we can pull ourselves out of this. Ah, we got it. We just gotta keep rolling every time. Every time, now pull up. Those are gone. Drop them like bombs. So, fun fact: these are actually they're empty now. Interesting. But they're full of fuel, so they're very heavy. As you saw, they're empty now. So the whole dynamic of the weight that we were measuring precisely with this has changed. That's the real big challenge. So let me think. Hold on. Not the Grandmasters, just the regular. So that's kind of flying. Out of control flying. So the key is to have your fuel centralized, and as it drains from here, the center of mass is going to move forward, hopefully not by much, but not by too much. I think I need to switch these. Which thrust are they working with? Because they're not going to cut it. I think this fuel tank is calling for more. LFO2. Which one's that? Swivel. Could put these on. These are the most powerful small ones, I think, right? We're looking at thrust, almost 1,000. Versus this one, 100 something, versus what we're currently working with, 162. This would be the same, but just rocket fuel. Symmetry. So based on, if this is 4,000 almost, and this one was this one was 250, and 2 of them were required. So we should have actually enough, right, with this. This actually will be overpowered for the payload. Interesting. The funny thing is that these are the ones that I remember now, that these are the ones I used for the Normandy, so this is one I should have went to, the go-to. Small but powerful. And I remember I had to have, because the Normandy has those offset wings, and the lower offset ones, I had to set those to like 5%, 10%. Because they would try to backflip it, because they're so powerful. But for aesthetics, they needed to be the ones I used because they looked the best. Perfect amount of thrust. So now we don't even need the boosters, technically, but we're going to be burning for fuel like a crazy person. Now it's just a glorified rocket. Yep. Tis true, tis true. Let's see. Weight, thrust, all that good stuff. How do we get this? Get a good look at this. It's not really a circle, but more of like an oblong. Oval. Kinda, sorta. Bum bum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-da ba-da bum bum ba-da ba-da. Let me try to start working on some of the wing parts. And this is another thing. Do I load these wings empty so I don't have to deal with the fuel exiting them? Look at this wing. That is the question. Soup. Thing is, because of its shape, we would want it to be like that. And that. That. It's funny how it still registers this as like lift. It's a fat piece facing towards it. Should I have that towards the back? I think. Can I make it so that this is actually, I think I'd have to move it through to this side and rotate it. We're just trading fat edges. Precision. Bad precision. Oh wait. Find that exposed part. No, because I'm gonna want to stick out the back. Should be fine like that. Looks good. Good enough. Oh man, that's cutting into the wings like a lot. Dare we say it's too big? Unless can't really internalize it. to wing. Boom, 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 boom. We should move the anchor points. I mean, that'd be advanced. Like Photoshop. Being able to change anchor points. Probably a mod for it. Maybe. See, now when I need to rotate it like this. I had. Thank you for the follow, Baronesser. Boom, boom, boom. It almost touches the support beam, which is nice. I could just strut that point. It'll be very secure. Welcome. I appreciate the support. It's like I appreciate this man's level of attention to detail. I don't know. For whatever reason. All the upward facing units are going to be aerodynamic, so we can push this freaking ball back. I have nightmares about this thing. Center of left, no. No, center of left, come back. Center of mass, where are you going? Please. The rest, you're alright. You're fine by me. That might actually work. We can do a little dance. Oh man, I just had to laugh. How many people die a year in your space program? Well, you see, it's all the purpose. It's their purpose in life. It's to die in my space. Is to die in my space program. If they're lucky enough. I don't know. I don't know if there's a tracker in sandbox mode. If not, they should have one. It's probably a tracker in career mode. It most certainly is probably one. Lots and lots of death. Death, destruction, mayhem. Families torn apart by the constant pursuit. Perfection. Now there are, I could, even though this has a cockpit, I could literally take this thing here, place it literally on top like this here, and this is now the remote, what do they call it, remote guidance unit, which will basically give us all the controls as if there was a pilot in there. I don't know, because they give the Kerbals, they give them stars. So where on the spectrum of these stars does the guidance unit lay, I wonder. Real question is, can you get this thing to space? Maybe. Maybe. That's always been the problem with my builds, getting things to space. And slapping a bunch of booster rockets on it doesn't always... How do I get out of this menu? Slapping a bunch of booster rockets on it doesn't always... Oh, this one. Doesn't always fit the bill. I feel like going... Where's our Uber? Building an actual rocket. Because this can't fit in, what do you call it? What are these things called? These things? I don't think this will fit. Where would I even start? Where would I even start to put this thing? Like it won't fit in these things. It's supposed to put one on one end, one on the other. It looks actually like it might at this point, but we're supposed to go wider. Probably gonna go out to here. This is the max width of one of these. Cancel. How do I cancel this? Well, basically, putting this thing, put all the struts on it. All of the struts. Every single strut we have in our warehouse. Putting all the struts on this and pointing it straight up and putting it on a Uber rocket. Just the most fuel. It's like fuel. And then these things actually probably multiple rockets like this with all the thrust. And just brute force blasting this thing into space and hoping that the aerodynamics, which could be accounted for if you put on enough of, where is it? Enough of these. These would steer the, once again, purely by brute force. You just pepper this around the entire craft. So if it's starting to backflip, those shoot out and bring it back to level. You put some on the underside, so if it goes too far down, and you just kind of wobble it into space. And then the issue then becomes, you're not done then. Your issue then begins, because now you have to realize, is your craft center where the center of thrust is up against the center of mass? Because now lift isn't a factor. So if that's off balance, you're just backflipping, unless you have again those engines over here pointed up, but then that reduces your optimization and it makes it look ugly. So it's like so many factors, and then it's like that could be negligible if you're just, you know, just doing minor movements in space. But when you have to do burns for rendezvous, and if you're trying to exit the system, you need to be consistently burning. And if you're wasting it doing these little don't backflip thrusts, it could be a big waste. So that's usually where I kind of, my builds, when with these like specialty build projects, they kind of taper off and die. They die a slow death of the pursuit of getting it into space. Then I move on to another one. So ultimately, I guess I should be working on, when I'm not working on these kind of builds, I should be working on a type of delivery system. And I've experimented with a lot. Like Russell Brand's Virgin Company, trying to trying to commercialize space flight, they have a delivery system that I've actually tried out where it's basically a giant wing. How was the best to explain this? It's a giant wing where this... Where's the coupler? This would basically be on a single decoupler. Right in the middle. Boom. And then you just got this big old wing. Scoop. Which connect to other big wings. How does it go? This one is actually one of my more favorite things to try because it's such an interesting concept. But it has the payload in the center here, and then you basically build two rockets. Or not rockets, you build two airplanes to carry, two jumbo jets on both sides. So you would do like fuel. Which one is it? Just the one with liquid fuel. And this down over this, and then another wing from here. Oh god, not that. It's so small. Typically angled up. With these hanging off of them. It's a very complex build. Oop. And multiple. So you can see you're basically building a big plane, but in the middle is the payload. And then after you get about to the altitude that jet engines max out, then the center piece, this piece, would decouple down. And since you can't operate two craft in this game, these just fly off and crash. From there, you would still need, from my experiences, you still need to have a system where this has booster rockets on the tips or something. Not just attached, but on decouplers. So when this decouples, this punches it the rest of the way out of the atmosphere. Then these decouple, and then you should be able to get into orbit from there. Ideally. And the fun thing about this is, as I've tested these things, that's what the program is doing now currently. It's testing the viability. I think there's been a couple crashes. I'm just seeing your messages now. Guidance has 4 stars. It doesn't have everything? Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed the autopilot stuff was kind of like just that. If you don't feel like killing, if you don't want the moral burden of killing Kerbins or Kerbals. Kerbalians. You can just swap it out. Why is this having such trouble here? Me wonders. Maybe too big. Wireless signal. Oh yeah, the signals. So last time I played they didn't have that. So obviously that needs to be... That even applies in the sandbox, right? Having wireless signals? Unless you use a cheat, just like infinite fuel, you would use a cheat to have infinite signaling range. I think I might have to change this piece. Can't really force it. Let me actually 2.5 hours. It's almost 1 a.m. Let me take a bathroom break. I'm gonna still go. But I'll leave you guys with a little view of what we got so far. But I'm gonna take a little bathroom break. I'm gonna keep streaming for maybe another hour. We'll see. Definitely gotta try to get another test flight done. Hopefully with less of the shenanigan test flying and actual what the end product might be test flying. But that typically takes a little longer to manage, especially since we have still a lot of aesthetics to polish on this thing. But I will be right back. Okay. So yeah. Typically I'd be actually be getting off right now at between midnight and 1 o'clock, but because I got on closer to 10 as opposed to 9 o'clock, I keep trying to power through here. And I'm enjoying tonight's stream. Tonight's live stream. Brought to you by you guys. So I tried that. I could try a flat panel anchored on the body. See, that looks too big. Where's the small one? This one? Too big. This one? This is the one I'm looking for. There's the one of the same size. thought it was B. Like there's a same size one, but it's at a different anchor point. Is it this one I'm thinking of? I thought I grabbed this one earlier. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. It's alright. Alright then. Cheerio. Chip cheerio. And all that. It's my accent. My English accent. Let's see, I guess I can close this off with another since I need as many wing parts anyways. See, now we're closing in on the actual center of lift. So we don't actually want to add any more past this point. Get some duct tape. Tape this. Duct tape this to this. That is solid and secure. This, however, might not be on the original piece. All we got is this little triangle sliver opening here that we can cover with what? It would have to be up, back, downward facing from front, back to front. So it can't, or it shouldn't be aerodynamic unless we do something like this. We get a bit, oh, this is the tail fin I was looking for before. We get a biggins. We get a biggins piece. We slap it on and still make it face upward. But because it just has a fat end, you can't tell. It just looks like it's rounded. The issue here comes is this going to poke out the back? It fits in there nice and snug like. Nice and snug. Easy there. I feel like it's sticking out the back. So here's the thing, it's sticking out the back, but we kind of have to cover these engines anyway. So do we rope that into that? Just as long as they're pointed down, right? Let's see. Doop 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 doop. Wah, wah, wah. Actually, it'd be better if it's tilted out this way, but that would make it harder to fix the back issue. Let's see what we can work with here. So we don't get a really good shot of the back of this thing. It's kind of like generic kind of opening. Like what exactly did the Millennium Falcon's engine back rear look like? It's just that bar, right? But is it like a bunch of these? Is it just an open? Is it really just like a slit that radiates energy or something? Nobody knows. Except the people who know. So let's do... Gonna need structural... Put up. See if we can transition this smooth like. Am I? Okay. For a second there, I thought I forgot to take off the mute. And I was about to be like, why? Why even mute? Next time you guys will hear me pee. How does this work? Just like... Sorry. I just chuckled because I'm just like, oh. Okay. Okay. What? Looks like things are happening. Sure. Your guess is as good as mine? No? Okay. Ba-doo-ba-doo-boo. I'm actually getting a little starved for food. Feeling a little starved. Just a little bit. there a way to hide this better without extending it? Or could I just do this easier if I get rid of this? And just make a duplicate of this. Ba-dum, boom, ba-dum. Wow, 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 wow. Ba-doo-doo, 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 doo. So the thing is, because these are on a swivel, I'm trying not to crowd them. Trying not to. Trying to respect their space here. See if we can keep it at that distance. Mm. Bum, 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 bum. And transition into this wing. Which isn't gonna make things easier. Oh, dang it. Two. Up. Over. Curve. That. Ba 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 ba. Good. That's the one. It's the positioning. I was waiting for all my life. Tilt. Okay, now I'm starting to actually feel tired. I was like, I could keep going all night. gonna be tricky. Ba-da-bum bum. Bum bum. Ba-dum bum. Let's see. Should we focus on aerodynamics now? Let's see if I can hide some. I've never tried to internalize winglet parts. Probably shouldn't start here. Try to keep my moving parts to the exterior. I think that's for the best. Small delta. Let's see. That's what the big one would do. What's the chunkiest? We have this wing. That's a chunky piece of aerodynamic manipulation. We also have this wing. But we're getting to the point where both of these are too big. So, what's our next chunky piece of surface area? Actually, we don't know until we build out the rest of the wing, but I can't continue construction here using wing parts, otherwise I'll extend center of lift forward. Unless I actually have them at a gradual, no, because then that'd be forward, it would just be tilting it weird. I have to start from here in the back. Let me try again with this one, because this could be useful if I can manage it. So like that, to there, to like this, to like this, so it's still internalized, but it's very much about that manipulation. Now we could also say okay, it's empty. Become emptied. Just so it's also not bowing and flexing with the force of aerodynamics imposed on it. We can anchor it. Try to anchor it there. Boom, boom, boom. So it doesn't try to flex up and hit the engines. We can try to lock them down there. It's actually quite the elegant solution there. Now as we build more pieces on this wings on the front, it'll just centralize the so it'll be like we're sitting on a cloud of lift trying to push us up. Do we test here? Do we? Test here. Do we try we put it on wheels? Do we dare? There's a big one. This can retract to a nice profile, so we actually can have this as a part of the final product if we want. We were so inclined. Making the profile even lower. So if that's where the wheel is. Wheel's about making contact there, so we need no, that's not gonna work. Too long. Are you mental, man? Are you mental? Are you mad? You daft? Try this. Boom. So boom. Boom. To boom. Down. Trying to make parallel lines with the road here, because perspective's going to distort me trying to put my camera exactly on top of it. So use parallels. Suck it up. Suck it up. Can only suck that one up but so much. We got this big old piece of freaking He's like, bring it up, bring it up. So I could build a wing system around what's going on there. Thing is, it's looking like the wheels are actually in front of the center of mass. So basically our back is gonna slap the ground. Our fat bottom. So this needs to be lowered to raise our butt and move back to be behind it. Which means that our nose is going to start pointed down. It's going to come down. As we drive forward, oh, this is going to be cool, kind of. Test this without putting it in a crazy testing file because we got a bunch of additional stuff on it. It's going to be interesting. Okay. Jebediah Bill set, primed, ready. Thrust probably doesn't even be max. Okay, fact. Confirmed. These engines are overpowered. So let's dial them down to a whimper and see. And because we're pointed down, we were getting a lot of drag until there wasn't. Which was... Lift, come on. Actually, I don't have control surfaces. So the only thing I have to steer this thing is actually the back, the engines back in the back. More power? Come on. What is this? Interesting. So we're getting way too much drag because of the orientation. Would control surfaces solve this issue though? I'm not entirely sure. Where would I put them? Since I don't have my crazy wings. Boom, 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 boom. There. There's one. There's another. These ones are gonna be weird. These ones that are on these angles. Like, what do you even do? And the question is, do I keep them and I build around them with structural stuff? Ba-bum, bum, ba-dum. See, I thought I was gonna build out to hide this tip, but now I don't think that's gonna happen, so I think I need to drop it in. Tone it down. I could try slapping on the Vernor engines now. Let's forget what thing they're in. Try to lower the profile of them so they're not too hideous. Gross. Grody. That's for backflipping. for front flipping. Bum. Will that fix our problem though? Should I put some on this? The ring. Look. Lift off. Ah, the stupid frickin' wings. Those wings are the worst. I think we have to put some on them to control them. And I think they'll work, even if I put it on the paneling. And they might even blend in until I start using them, and then it'll look like ridiculous, but whatever. Like a porcupine. Ruba should be roughly between calm and cool. Ooh. Has something wrong with the positioning back here? Or center of mass, center of left. In between them? Let me think about that. Huh. Because I always thought, oh, it'd be good just for having behind it. Because if you have it in front of it, obviously it goes backwards. If you have it behind it, then it's resting between these two. But if you have it right on top, I guess that makes sense, right? We're gonna all agree that makes sense? Now the question then comes, does it count the center of this wheelbase as this between the actual wheels? I want to say between the wheels, which is kind of this. More or less. Kind of, sort of. Alright. Just need to put a couple of these under here and we should be good to go. I still think this thing's gonna pull like a mother. I want to add another pair on top of here too. Somewhere like over here. Rotate this like here. Oops. Sink it down. So that should control the shenanigans of the front wing. Man. I could try to solve this all in together by doing this. Boom. Boom. But that's not how it looks. Like, watch. I feel like this is gonna be so much better. On top of everything else we did. Boop, boop. Tone it down. And... Okay. 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 Oh god! Oh god! Interesting. Without the front part of our ship, we could fly. Take that! I pinch you. I may pinch your ship. I pinch your face. Without the front part of this ship, why is that ship designed like? Oh, I'm gonna tell myself it's for space. No hands. Look, Mom, no hands. What is this? Beautiful. Or what is it? That's the collector. Perfection. Here's our fuel. Interesting. So I could try. Oh no! Oh god! Oh Lord! Oh no! Oh, the daycare! Oh, the Kerbals! Oh no! Oh no, that's not. Oh, that's the. That's where we assemble rockets. Oh. No. Can I get out? Go EVA. Is it counted as blocked? I mean, it's clipping underneath, but this door, the hatch is free. Go. It's obstructed. Oh no. Okay. Fair enough. Flies better without the wings. What's the point? And that's with the struts too, man. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, this thing is made for space, right? And somewhere in this thing is that magical liquid of anti-gravity something that's circulating, that has, like, 0 friction or whatever is required. Only thing I can think of is replacing all these wing parts underneath with a mirror image of what I did with these plates here. But the thing is, these are all attached to those wing parts. God dang it. What are our options? Because I feel like this will actually fly just fine in space. But because of air resistance. So contrary to what Warner Bros. Says, they don't just stop in midair when it runs out of gas? No. No. Skirt! Then you do the shoulder shrug at the camera. Arbitrary camera look. Let's see. What are we gonna do? Trying to wrap my head around it.
What we gonna do here, guys?
Pretty serious allegations against us. I could be overpowered. Too much, to the too much degree. It could actually be these engines. I may be getting too much velocity too fast, and then I can't compensate because it's just too much. It's too much. Since I have so many air intakes, it behooves me to try. What is a jet engine? 150. Which is the one that actually lights up? Is it this one? 130. This one? A couple of them. I know this one's the one I kind of gotta go to for space multi-purposing. Let's try this one again. It was definitively underpowered with this before, but we didn't have the balance that we have now. Just out of curiosity. Is this just gonna do a bunch of spinning around? Tokyo drifting on the runway. At maximum thrust. I could have a mixture of engines. That was a possibility. I feel like we have to get to full throttle here. Oh god, the instability! And we can jump off this. Oh god, come on. We're fine. Oh god. Space Center, watch out! Why is it doing this? Whee! Oh god! Oh no, the hangar! With all the engineers, they built this, they were watching. They thought they were safe, there they weren't. Okay. That was a buck 60 a piece maximum thrust potential. Man, this is a dilemma. This here's one of them their dilemmas. The issue may also be us trying to fly it like a plane. One thing I had to do with Archie, which is my build for, was my Watchman build. I have to remember that this is a supposedly working hatch. Oh, I can use it like this, watch. For takeoff, right? Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. We actually have... Let me get into this. Da 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 da. Need a part that does fuel crossfeed. Structural power line. This says crossfeed is off. Game of crossfeed. Watch what I do here. Watch me work. Put a structural thing there, right? See it there? Crossfeed enabled into the main tank. From there, tanks. Internalize them. The reason we use instead of attaching this directly so we can position them just like this. Now from here, how do we do this? Do I need this? Structural. Where's the other one? Radio attachment point. Basically I want to put engines in these. In this. I don't think I can put an engine just like... Can? It's green. Gonna be interesting. Got these two nipples. Now, will you play nice? I put you guys like this. I think we still got the nipple thing going on for us when we close these doors, huh? Oh yeah! I guess I could use different engines. See, like, what's the smallest? What's the smallest one? Technically this. I can't just have a bunch of them pointing down. I feel like that'll look crazy. At least if it's the jet engines, it'll be connected to. What should I say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. If it's in jet engines, it'll look like a flame. I mean, if it's jet engines, it'll just look like wind. As opposed to a... not. The thing about this is, as with Archie, there's two pointed down, two pointed up. Because this is clipped the way it is, I don't know if the thrust is even going to register. Oops. Whatever. Engines are those. So I don't even know if I can get enough lift off of those, really. I would have to custom dial their percentages. I wish I had 2 throttle controls, kind of like you have in a real plane, where you have each individual one. We can kind of dial it in. I think there has to be a mod for that. Engines. What am I trying to do? I don't know, let's see what happens here. Don't think much of anything, we're just gonna backflip. But ideally there's a sweet spot in there though, where it can almost be a hover. With a mixture of back thrust from the back, rear, these engines firing plus this. And yes, still using a little bit of aerodynamics. So those appear to work fine. Got our Vernor engines to kind of try to give us that final push. Come on. Raising throttle. Maximum throttle. Oh god, don't hit the tanks. Oh. Huh. So usually I'm floating. I feel the ship is like floating in a bad way. That actually felt as if it could have lifted if we had another pair of engines in there maybe? Let's put them on the other side of this tank. Where's the center of mass? Can't trust center of lift anymore because we've corrupted it. But you have corrupted its nature. Unless we put these to 0 just to get a reference of what the back end's doing. This. Try to point it back a little. Still see when it's closed. Yeah, whatever. Now these freaking doors are super obstructed. Save here. Talking about no more shenanigans on the stuff, and then we got all the shenanigans. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're firing. Look, I think we can hover. We can float our front tire. We can float our front tire. We just need a little... Final push! And the backflip commences! Hey! Suplex! Do I cut engines? What am I supposed to do? Boop, boop. So as soon as I see maybe some form of semblance of lifting off, I need to just dial it down maybe? Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Ah, chase. Once again, without the front wings screwing us up. Yay! Ah! Ah! Cartwheels! We're in flight. So we have to figure out how to get rid of all the aerodynamics in the front. Is basically what you're telling me, game. I hear you. Read you loud and clear. Dang it. At least I'm still satisfied with, I guess, this from the back to here. These doors are still obstructed, which is kind of frustrating. I thought I based it off of the top door, not necessarily what's behind it. Unless I can push it back a pinch. That means something. Let's see, what else could I do? I got these on there. It's gonna be wanting to do a backflip. Gonna wanna be doing a backflip. What happened to the lift? What did I change? Are the wheels doing this? My alarms. What did I change? I moved this so far back. Was it these struts? No. Oh no, some in my mind said maybe because the struts are anchored, it's more even as opposed to them being anchored from the back, which put the weight on the back somehow in a weird way. That didn't. I thought I thought we had these a lot closer than they currently are. I know that. Because tilting this actually down is actually a healthy stability adjustment. How do we get that to tilt? Oh, the engines. The engines. Hmm. The engines were much heavier. I was like, what did I change? Now when we put these engines back on, oh yeah. There's nothing in between 1000 and 162 by chance. So I wonder if, now that I fixed it, quote unquote, fixed it, is this going to perform better than it's been performing? Doubt it. A sneaking suspicion and it's not going to fix it, but it's going to be maybe better. We're going to need to get a lot of speed, but this will want to play nice with lift. Come on. Ah. Okay. Oh. I thought I hit revert back to hangar, but revert and kick me out of game, I guess, could be a thing. I should just take that as a message that I need to get the heck out of here. So yeah. We should just, it's 2 AM where I'm at. It's 2 AM. Gotta do post-production stuff, set up stuff for tomorrow so I can be on time-ish again. Then get to bed, take care of the kiddos. I'm intrigued. This build is interesting me, but in a frustrating way because I know the design as a aerodynamics craft is just flawed. I shouldn't have copped out by trying to use the wing pieces to design the wings because it's so much easier with triangles. Why don't they just make a structural panel that's a triangle, just one? But that's not the case. Can't get what you want all the time out of life. But I'll try, I'm not sure if I'm going to try to revamp the wing or just try centering the center of mass and center of lift and trying to straighten the center of lift so it's not pointing back. Because if it's pointing up, I feel like we can handle it a little bit more, with a little bit more finesse versus pointing back where it's going to be an extreme counterproductive force when it comes to against our thrust. It's an interesting problem to have. Could still try to brute force it, but it's already just eating through all the fuel. I'd like to go back to the smaller engines, take out the wing part, replace it with panels, as long as that, however long that's gonna, extra time that it's gonna take. Just get it done. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just replace the wings because they're just gonna be. Even if we perfect the balance, we still have an unfinished craft. So once we finish it, we're just gonna have to perfect the balance again. When the entire time the front wing is gonna be a huge problem. So we're just gonna have to make it structural. Move on from there. Thanks again for guys joining me. As always, love when people hang out and chat me up and enjoy the stream when I'm in my zone with this game. This game has officially 450 hours in it, and it's just because and that's active hours. That's not just me forgetting that it was on in the background or something. That's me playing it because I like trying to create something creative that looks good, but at the same time it's functional and solves problems, problem solving. I like that about this game. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can click on these thumbnails to see yesterday. This was day 1 of the build for the it's called Commodore. It's like it starts with a C and there's a couple M's in there. So this is for the Commodore, and then I played Divinity Original Sin 2 on Friday into Saturday, and I'll probably get back to that next week. I'll probably finish up this build this week. Maybe take a break just to play some random game or something. But thanks for stopping by. See you guys. Peace.